Welcome to the episode of Locked In. This is going to be a review on the Sram Rival 22 group set. We're going to be going over performance, compatibility, installation, cosmetics, and price. Now Rival is Sram's mid-range group set, right above their Apex line, which is still currently 10 speed, and right below their Force 22 line, which I've already reviewed, and you can click this annotation to watch that. Rival 22 is a great option for anybody looking for a great new 11-speed group set and doesn't care as much about weight or wants something a little more sturdy for cyclocross or commuting compared to Force 22. Let's get started with installation. Installation was a breeze, just like any other Sram group set that I've installed. Now on my GT cyclocross build, you can see I use their GXP style bottom bracket, which was easy to install. The only thing I didn't use in my build that was Sram was the brakes. I went with some V brakes because I had them already, and I hated adjusting the Avid 4s. Adjusting the yaw front derailleur does take a little bit of time, and there are plenty of great videos on YouTube on how to adjust that properly, because it is a little different than a traditional front derailleur. And it was easy to adjust the 11 to 32 cassette with their mid-cage Y-Fly option. Now let's go to cosmetics. Rival compared to Force is definitely a little more understated, but the primarily all black design will go with pretty much any color scheme on your bike. Now let's go over compatibility. The main thing going with 10 to 11 speed is you have to check your rear wheel to make sure it's 11 speed compatible. There's been a lot of people I've actually run into that have a 10 speed bike, but because of when they bought it, it actually is an 11 speed compatible rim with just a spacer installed. So check that first. If not, you're gonna have to buy a new wheel set, unless you're lucky enough that your wheel manufacturer actually offers an 11 speed hub body, and you're gonna have to do your own research for that. Next, you're gonna have to buy shifters, front and rear derailleurs, and a chain. Now with your crankset, I'm currently running a 10-speed crank on my Focus with an 11-speed group and I've had no issues, even though they say it's not compatible. And I've had no issues with shifting or the 11-speed chain on the 10-speed rings. So you could save yourself some money there. And with brakes, obviously you can keep those as well. Now let's get to performance. Let's start with shifting. Shifting on the Rival group set is shockingly really similar to the Force 22 group set I have on my road bike. The rear derailleur shifts really fast, and the shifters are very accurate. Front shifting, I did notice a little bit of difference between the Force and the Rival. I don't know if that's down to the shift lever or if it's down to the front derailleur. The left lever feels like I have to actually throw it a little bit farther for it to get onto the bigger ring, but drops to the inner ring really quickly. So I'm not actually sure where that lag is coming from. Braking, obviously I'm not using Sram specific brakes, so I can't comment on that. But with the Avids I used to have on there, they broke moderately well, they were just difficult to adjust. Now with the crankset, it was plenty stiff, and I've ridden on some hard dirt climbs on my cyclocross bike with it, and didn't feel much flex in it compared to my Force crankset I've had, or the red one I currently own on my Focus. But the main difference between this and my Force crankset or the red is the weight. This crankset is about a pound heavier than my red crankset, and about half a pound heavier than the Force equivalent. So that is one big area where you're going to gain a significant amount of weight over the Force unit. So if you want to save some rotational weight, that would be the area to maybe upgrade. But overall, I'm extremely happy with it. It's been reliable. I haven't had any drop chains or missed shifts since I've installed it. Now let's talk about price. I've seen Rival 22 go for about $475 to about $560 online, depending on where you look. And I really think that's a great value for the performance that it offers, especially compared to Force 22. I'd highly recommend this group set to anybody looking for a budget-oriented group set that shifts great and is reliable. And the main benefit to a cheaper group set is, especially in cyclocross, if you rip a rear derailleur off or something, is a lot cheaper to replace those parts than in a more expensive Force or red group set. So, I hope you enjoyed this review. If you want to upgrade possibly to Force, or I want to see the differences, you can click on this annotation to watch the review that I did on that. So thank you for watching, make sure to subscribe, like my Facebook page, links are all in the description, and thanks for watching the episode of Locked In.
Let's get locked in today, like tutorials and quick and fix tips. Let's get locked in.